The Galaxy win El Trafico in front of an MLS record crowd. Dustin May will not be the savior of the Dodgers pitching staff, and no, Paul George was never going to the New York Knicks. Stop it. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is July 5th, 2023. I am in an airport about to take off to try to make some extra money in Joe Biden's America. Happy July 4th to us all, right? But whatever. I'm in a great mood. I went to El Trafico last night, got the souvenir lid. It's a beautiful thing, and if you like being in the know about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. There's always good stuff to talk about with LA sports. By the way, there is an El Trafico kit giveaway. I will be drawing names later today. One guy will get an LAFC kit. Another guy will get the LA kit for the LA Galaxy. Now, before we go through the news and notes and look at the scoreboard, the Dodgers bullpen blew up again yesterday. Pittsburgh 9, Dodgers 7, spoiling a 4-home run outburst by the Dodgers, including 2 from James Outman. Meanwhile, Ricky Puig's game winner lifts the Galaxy to a 2-1 victory over LAFC in front of over 80,000 people at the Rose Bowl. Guys, LAFC shouldn't have called the dude a clown. Got burned on that one. Meanwhile, today, Pittsburgh is at the Dodgers at 7 o'clock. Bobby Miller is 4-1 with 4.23 ERA. The Pirates counter with Osvaldo Bido, who is 0-1 with a 4.74 ERA. And Atlanta is playing the Sparks at 7. LA is on a 3-game losing streak. But let's recap last night's El Trafico. First of all, shout out to everybody in black and gold who gave me the finger yesterday. It's hard to offend me. You didn't piss me off. You clearly left more pissed off than I was. Sorry my team ruined your day. But let's talk in detail. I'm not an LAFC hater per se, not a fan. It's a rivalry. It is what it is. I try to call things straight down the middle. But yesterday I figured the Galaxy would win because both teams were desperate. Absolutely desperate. But the blue, white, and gold have had to play with desperation for pretty much, the last month and a half, when they haven't lost a single game over the last month. They've only won 2 of them. The other 4 were draws. But they know how to play desperate. They have been doing so since they fired team president Chris Klein. Now for LAFC, being desperate, struggling, this is uncharted territory for them. So on some level, I was sitting there saying, if one team doesn't know what to do when they're struggling, but the other team does, take the team with the plan. And that's why I chose the Galaxy. So on that level, I was right. Because the Galaxy played with a lot more grit. Lots of grit. Where I was wrong, though, was picking which player I thought would click. I thought that Preston Judd would out-muscle LAFC's weakened back line. LAFC and the Galaxy now have problems on the back line. But Preston Judd did not finish. Otherwise, the Galaxy could have buried the black and gold in the first half alone. He was eventually pulled. The player I should have chosen was Tyler Boyd, who now, by the way, has 3 goals against LAFC this year, including 1 in the first half last night. Just a rocket from outside the penalty area. Boyd also assisted on Puig's game winner in the 72nd minute. So what it means for the Galaxy is that they are closer to a playoff spot. They are 6 points out. It also puts some needed distance between them and Colorado for the so-called wooden spoon, the Razzie Award given to the worst team in MLS. I don't see Colorado rallying to catch the Galaxy. I just don't. As for LAFC, they're in no danger of missing the playoffs. Let's not get that twisted. And also, they're only 3 points behind Western Conference leading St. Louis. But it is a 3rd consecutive loss for LAFC. A 3rd consecutive loss. Manager Steve Cherundolo said he's pissed off. His words, not mine. As for the series overall, the Galaxy lead El Trafico with 9 wins, 6 losses, and 5 draws. Now, in my opinion, This is how the Galaxy managed to get enough offense. A few weeks ago, we talked about how Cherundolo changed the LAFC defense. Former manager Bob Bradley wanted pressure everywhere, and as a result, they would get exposed on the counterattack. What Cherundolo wanted, instead of pressing the opposing team's attackers, he wanted them to interrupt the passing lanes. So, for example, if the Galaxy's Douglas Costa had the ball, like right here, instead of having somebody facing up on him, Cherundolo wanted somebody here and somebody here to try to interrupt the passing lanes. That gave Douglas Costa a path to just split the difference right between them. And the Galaxy did that all night long. And once you got past those first two defenders, Costa would lift his head, look up for somebody to pass to. And the game-winning goal, it was Costa splitting two people, passing to Boyd, who found Puig. Now, I don't believe defense is the primary problem for LAFC. I don't want to go there. They're simply not scoring. And scoring is their MO. Ilie Sanchez got the goal for the black and gold, and they did apply pressure. They're just not finishing. And by the way, don't for a second think that this is going to take any pressure off of their big striker, Carlos Vela. People have been wondering lately if he's lost a step on his game. Vela had at least 3, possibly 4 free kicks just outside the LA Galaxy penalty area. And it was on the side where it would favor Vela's left foot. Vela is just dominant on the left foot. Didn't convert on any of those free kicks, those set pieces. So this is not going to silence Vela's doubters. But you let me know what you think. Dodgers starting pitcher Dustin May needs elbow surgery, so he will not be the savior of the Dodgers pitching staff. Hell, he already had Tommy John surgery on the elbow just 2 years ago. Now, this is supposedly just a repair of the flexor tendon. The tendon is why he went on the injured list back in May. The dude only threw once since then. The Dodgers were happy talking it like, yeah, he's going to get a rehab assignment. No, that was just wishful thinking. Just wishful thinking. So now you have May out, you have Clayton Kershaw out, you have Walker Buehler, who hasn't pitched at all this year, and Julio Urias just came back. Look, if there's a silver lining to all this bad news for the Dodgers starters, it's that it is now time for the next generation of Dodger pitchers to come up and hopefully not get injured. Maybe they can swing that. Also, keep in mind that the Dodgers benefit from not blowing up their farm system like the Padres did last year in order to acquire Juan Soto. So, silver lining. I want to preface what I'm about to tell you by saying I don't believe a word of it, not a single syllable. But I'm simply telling you this to illustrate just how slimy and untrustworthy the New York sports press is. Alan Hahn, he's a guy who looks like he's trying to sell you a timeshare in a tent city just outside of Portland. He claims for the MSG network to know that the Knicks shot down a trade for Paul George of the Clippers. No, they didn't want Paul George. And the reason was that Paul George wanted an extension, according to Hahn. This is so common of the New York press. It is extremely common. They've been writing this same one trick for years. Peter Vesey was the mastermind of this craptacular approach to garbage rumored journalism. It was always the same 3 steps. 1, create a rumor that the Knicks are this close to landing a marquee player, just this close. Step 2, it doesn't happen. And step 3, you create a second lie to cover up your first lie. Vesey did it all the time. You could create both lies literally in the span of 30 seconds. Oh, Michael Jordan is in great shape and he's going to make a comeback for the Knicks. And then he realized he was pushing 60. Seriously, it's the same damn thing. There was no way Paul George was going to New York. Stop it. Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka, we've mentioned this before, he's a former agent. Now, that doesn't make him the next Jerry West, but it does mean that he knows how to craft a good financial deal. 2 such Lakers contracts are getting rave reviews this offseason. You take Gabriel Vincent. The man hasn't made $2 million in his entire career. Now, he's getting $33 million from LA. 33. Understand, by the end of the year, he could be the Lakers' starting point guard if they deal D'Angelo Russell for another asset. A starting point guard for $33 million is a bargain. And then, of course, obviously, the Austin Reeves deal. There was a belief Austin Reeves could have gotten an offer for more than $100 million. Now, the Lakers would have matched that, but it would have been painful. Instead, they're getting a starting shooting guard for $14 million a year. That, again, is an absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. Pro Football Focus graded Kobe Durant as the Rams' second best defensive back last year, only behind Jalen Ramsey. Now, by default, you would say that makes him the Rams' best defensive back this year. But there's a problem. Missed tackles. He had 21 shots to make the tackle last year, blew 4 of them. You mean that your best cornerback is going to miss the tackle potentially 20% of the time? That has just big plays for the opposition written all over it. So yeah, Kobe Durant has some work to do. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. If you went to El Trafico or watched it, tell me what you thought was the difference for the Galaxy or what LAFC has to work on. Tell me what you think of the Dodgers pitching staff. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We are talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Porta El Queso production. Take care.